Jujutsu Kaisen, potential is something that is really talked about a lot. It's kind of one of the main themes of Jujutsu Kaisen. Gojo being the strongest and always being the strongest, his whole goal is to get multiple people that could be as strong as himself. That's his whole mission, and Gojo is practically I would say, second main character in the show because he had a whole arc surrounding his past. But to answer the question, I did describe a list of about 5 people who I believe have the standards, and this is ranked in order of who I believe have the most potential in Jujutsu Kaisen. But to start off the list, number 5, Hakari. Now, Hakari is currently probably the second strongest person in the anti-Sukuna squad, so you would say, hey, if he's the second strongest, why is his potential of 5th? Well, it's because Hakari, his curse technique has limitations I don't think people talk about a lot. Hakari's main gripe is he has no finishing power. He has no real big ability or attack. Like, even Yuji, he's probably there's like a 20% chance he's gonna hit a black flash on you. And even then, he's crafted an entire fighting style surrounding what he does best. He's physically gifted almost on the level of a heavenly restriction, and still is really good cursed energy manipulation. And Hakari has his limitations. However, when it comes to his potential, I just don't see how much stronger Hakari can really get. Now, I do know that he could make some kind of binding vow with his curse technique to get maybe better chances of rolling a jackpot, but as we've seen with Jackpot Hakari scales a slight, actually not slightly, but above a base Kashimo, and that's really good. Well, how do you improve Jackpot? Maybe increase his cursed energy output? There's just not a lot of ceiling for Hakari to get stronger. But number 4 on the list, we have Yuji Itadori, the main character. Now, I love JJK because it's the type of series to where the main character isn't immediately the most broken character. Even now, Yuji's not the strongest, and I don't believe he will ever be the strongest. But when it comes to his potential, Yuji in these past few chapters has shown a lot. Being able to learn reverse curse technique in a month, we don't know how he learned it, but he did learn it, and he's supposedly used it, like, I believe 3-4 times. Every time he's been slashed by Sukuna, he has used reverse curse technique. And I believe this goes with his potential that we've seen throughout the series. Sukuna even mentioned that his cursed energy manipulation has grown so much to the point where he is getting noticeably outdone by Sukuna when it comes to hands, but he is somewhat keeping up with him. And we also speculate that he has blood manipulation, that being one of the top 3 clans' curse technique. So we don't know Yuji's full limits, but from just what we've seen, I think he has the 4th highest potential. And I also think it scares us because it's practically confirmed that well, to my theory at least, I believe he ate the other 7 death painting wounds. And when it comes to these death painting wounds, they are on the level of special grade. So if his biggest gripe was that he didn't have a crazy amount of cursed energy, but now if he has eaten these death painting wounds, like how it comes with Sukuna, when you eat someone, you gain their cursed energy. If that's the case, Yuji just got so much more cursed energy to work with. I just believe that he has the more potential than Hakari. The number 3 on my list, I've got Megami. Now, I would put Megami up here mainly because of his curse technique, which I know, again, is a pretty big meme because all he does is Raga, and he's regarded as potential man. But I truly believe that after seeing Sukuna fight with the 10 Shadows against Yorozu, a Heian era sorcerer who had practically an ability that couldn't be countered by anyone else in the series, unless you were a user of the 10 Shadows, like, just seeing what Sukuna could do, and I don't even believe Sukuna really could maximize the 10 Shadows curse technique as well as Megami could have. Just seeing his growth, I mean, in Shibuya, he was just below Yuji completely. And he had the domain expansion, but he just wasn't on his level after all those black flashes. To be able to fight the reincarnated sorcerer Reggie and practically just fold him, expanding his curse technique so much, he changed his whole strategy up. Originally, it was all about his Divine Dog totality, just one-shotting you, but no, he trapped you in the shadows, and that, to me, is more like an unlimited void than even Gojo's curse technique, because he could theoretically just keep you in the shadow forever. Like, yeah, your weight's gonna be there, but okay. He could withstand 3 tons. I'm pretty sure he could withstand just a person there. But also, the potential has to come with Maharaga. Maharaga being one of the most versatile things in the series. I do believe that if Megami had maximized the 10 Shadows, gotten a complete domain, gotten reverse curse technique, he could have been one of the strongest in the series. But as it stands right now, we'll never know. But number 2 on the list, I have Higuruma. Now, Higuruma got into some contention because Sukuna kept comparing him to Gojo. And I have left Gojo, if you haven't noticed, I've left Gojo and Sukuna off of this list for obvious reasons. Like, they're already the strongest. This is about pure potential. But back to Higuruma. His potential is I'm going mainly off of what Sukuna has said and his just insane growth in that fight against Sukuna. I mean, he learned how to seamlessly go from domain expiration to his executioner sword, his curse technique. Honestly, if Higuruma had more time with his curse technique, because he just didn't have the experience to go with it. His ability was incredible. Learning reverse curse technique in the way that he did, I mean, being able to heal 2 of your arms is not an easy feat in Jujutsu Kaisen. Uro and Ryu mentioned this, that healing an entire limb, especially how fast he healed it as well, is an insane thing to do when it comes to reverse curse technique. But I really want to move on from Higuruma. But number 1 is going to be Yuta Okotsu. Yuta, I believe, has the most potential of people in the series currently, mainly because of what the Uro and Ryu fight really showed me. It showed me that Yuta doesn't actually know how to maximize his potential. Like what Gojo told Megami, Yuta's mindset, I don't think it's great. I think it's just terrible. Mainly because he doesn't care too much about getting stronger. He doesn't care about fighting. He just wants to protect his friends. This is like what Uro mentioned. The only way to strength is an insane aggression. Yuta, to me, has the original Megami mindset. That he would sacrifice himself, and he would want to sacrifice himself and kill his opponent. And this isn't even a hypothetical. He literally did it against Geto. He was prepared to sacrifice himself and just win instead of trying to just all-out win. The reason sorcerers grow insanely quickly at points is because when you back them against a wall and put the only option in front of them to win, that's when you maximize growth. And we've seen it multiple times. I mean, we saw it with Gojo on the verge of death. He learned reverse curse technique. We saw it with Yuji when faced against Mahito. When he had to hit 100% Black Flash, he did it. We saw it with Megami. When he had to win against the Finger Bearer, he popped his domain expansion for the first time. I mean, there's just so many examples of this being the case. Yuta being at the level currently, for the main cast, he's the strongest. Just being there already, I mean, within 6 months, being able to pull off reverse curse technique output, something Gojo couldn't do, fully manifesting Rika, attaining a domain expansion, he I believe he most likely has domain amplification, but at least a simple domain, just because it's Yuta, and we haven't seen his full output and actual full power, because he definitely has more stored curse techniques than just the ones that he showed off. We still don't even know what his domain expansion does. But he just has such a more of a ceiling to grow. But I think this Sukuna fight will really show what Yuta is about. But that's the list. However, I do have a hypothetical number 0. Now this is kind of a technicality, but at 0, I have Subaru Geto. Now the reason Geto is up here, and you would say, well, he lost to a, I believe, 16-year-old Yuta, who had 6 months of jutsu training. Now, the reason I have him here is because technically, with his curse technique, he could grow infinitely stronger. Just keep absorbing and absorbing and absorbing and eating and eating and eating curses. If he could get theoretically like 100 different curse techniques from the curses he's eaten. And if he had won that fight against Yuta and gotten Rika Orimoto, this is a different Rika. This is a Rika that rivaled Gojo and had infinite curse energy that the world has never even seen. He would have been a force. Probably would have won the series, because Rika, like that Rika specifically, does increase your potential. Like this has been stated by Gojo and Geto. They both hypothesized that the reason Yuta has grown so fast in such a quick amount of time is because of Rika just boosting his potential. I don't know exactly how that works, but that's my secret number 0. Now, of course, there were some honorable mentions for the list. Mahito was someone I saw like people talk about, and I think Mahito had a lot of potential, but not as much as people say he did. Mainly because of just how Mahito fought and how he worked. Like, and of course, the disaster curses had a lot of potential. I believe they had more potential than Mahito. They just didn't know how to maximize it like Mahito could. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah.